Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Kevin Pollak and Tony Shalhoub about season 4 of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, coming to Prime Video February 18th. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for your interest.
Absolutely. It's so exciting, a new season. I love both of your characters. So to start, I have specific character questions. Tony, just simply, what's it like playing a character like Abe?
Oh, it's delightful. It's challenging. But we have such a great, tightly knit cast that every day of work is a joy. Abe is a complicated guy, and
Yeah.
I know from my own experience as a father of two daughters. Abe sort of thinks that he knows what's going on in his daughter's world. He thinks that he's in control, but he's really, it's like all fathers, he's deluding himself. He's really 6 steps behind what's actually going on. So I can relate to it, and I love doing it.
Kevin, the moment we meet Moishe, there's so much energy, there's so much confidence, there's so much happening. What is your favorite? It's 4 seasons now. What's your favorite part about playing that character, would you say?
Well, my whole alleged acting career, I've been focused on not drawing attention to underplay as a way to somehow fool people into thinking I'm a dramatic actor. Having come from stand-up comedy with no formal training, not proud of it. It's just what it is. So to finally play a loud, obnoxious person and to be told it's the role I was born to play has been a bit of a wrestling match, but also a pure joy. And it is a matter of bringing up the energy, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Tony, is it interesting to be on a show that in one regard is about stand-up comedy, but if you look at the other kind of components as well, it's not about stand-up comedy, it's about life and everything. Is that interesting to you a little bit?
Very much so. When I first read the pilot, I just knew this was something different, something really. I love the tone of it. I love the period that it's takes place in. I love the fact that we don't have cell phones or computers or even cordless phones. We're that early on. But I think you're right. It's not so much about stand-up. When Midge does the kind of stand-up which is kind of a monologue where she's really expressing things that are about what's going on in her life, what's going on in her past, what it's like to be a woman in this time period, in a period of transition. So it's I guess stand-up is really just the vehicle for these writers to put out there some really, really insightful and clever ideas.
Absolutely. And Kevin, you mentioned, stand-up comedy and everything. Is it interesting? Like your character in the show is not a stand-up comedian, but is it interesting because you had that kind of past experience? You're able to kind of be on a show and kind of just see how it plays out. And is it a little relatable a little bit? Like what's that like for you a little bit?
Yeah, it is a joy to watch them write these monologues so wonderful in a stream of conscious way, not joke telling.
Yeah.
Which is a big part of today's stand-up comedy, which is called confessional stand-up comedy, where if you go on stage with jokes, it's sort of almost frowned upon. So they've done an amazing job to be that relevant while putting this character forth. And then to have the Lenny Bruce character, which of course was a big part of the education for any comedian my age. It's been a true joy. And Luke Kirby as Lenny is one of the greatest portrayals of anyone ever. There's been special bonus aspects to that for me personally.
Absolutely. Has it hit you both that a new season is finally coming out? Like it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting even to get back to shooting season 4 because the hiatus was extended because of COVID. So it was a 14-month drought. We were missing each other. We were missing the work. We all kept up a kind of a text thread, group text thing to stay in touch and to keep each other sane. And so when we finally got back onto that set, in that wardrobe again. It was thrilling. And so now, after all these many months, for the audience to be able to pick up and watch episodes pick up where we left off, well, it's long overdue.
Kevin, one of my favorite things about the show as well is it's so funny. The one-liners are amazing. Everyone does a great job. Tony just brought it up a little bit. I just love how this show looks. Like, I just think it just looks amazing. Can you talk a little bit about the aesthetic component of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel for a second?
Well, the aesthetic component of the show is one of the stars of the show. You know, our production design and wardrobe, just two departments, have both won, I think, multiple Emmys. It's an astonishing world, and I think it's one of the reasons the show continues to be compelling and exciting for folks to tune back in, because it's quite a departure from the reality we're all living in, and a pretty magical place to come visit and hang out for a while.
No, absolutely. Tony, is it evident when you're reading the scripts early on for this show that, you know, it has like the really funny laughs and the one-liners? You know, Alex's character, Susie, just does an amazing job, but it also has these moments where it hits hard. It's emotional. It kind of gets you there. Is that evident when you read the script for this in the early stages?
Absolutely. In fact, not just in the early stages, but all the scripts have a quality. I mean, you know, it's rare. We all read a lot of scripts, and it's rare when you are reading something for the first time and you're laughing out loud. You sort of feel like a crazy person because you're just, you know, and then there's these moments in the scripts where it's incredibly moving and startling, and kind of in an emotional way, catches you off guard. You're laughing one minute and sort of getting a gut punch the next. So when we know a new script is coming out, we're just, you know, chomping at the bit to crack it open, because we never really know what's coming down the pipe for our characters, and we're anxious to feel that, you know, that laughter and that emotional poignancy again every time, really.
Absolutely. Tony, Kevin, thank you so much for taking some time and chatting with me on Popternative. And I'm so excited for everyone to see it. Season 4 on Prime Video, February 18th, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Thank you both for your time.
Thank you for your interest, Petey.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.